Welcome to the Geek Matrix. As I'm sure you already heard me say that, because that's in our intro song. But I have it in the script because it's fun to say. I like it.
Indeed.
It is the DC Comics review show number 164. Holy shit, we've been doing this a while. Doesn't feel like it, but at the same time it does.
Almost
this is
2 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, right? That's good. Yeah, it's been, was it
2021. I know,
Was
it
it
feels like a
2021?
lifetime ago.
It's
Yeah.
it must be over that then. This is 2023.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wait.
So it's been almost
It was the later half of 2021.
Yeah.
Or no, wait. No, I've already done the second annual awards thing. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it has to have
it's been 2 years.
Two freaking years.
And I did that a while ago.
Yeah.
I completely forgot.
You guys are very resilient, having stuck with me this long.
I'm having a blast. I am. I won't speak for Brandon because I don't like to speak for other people, but I'm having a blast.
Yeah, no, it's been a good time.
Speaking of good times, there's nothing that sounds like a better time than getting the hell off of Twitter. The link hasn't been added to our website yet.
Don't you mean X?
No, I mean Twitch.
And you can yeet.
Oh, God.
Absolutely not. The link isn't up on our website yet, www.thegeekmatrixpod.com, where you do find links to all of our socials, Substack, and all of that stuff. But we are now officially on Blue Sky, so hopefully Twitter will go away. You can find us there at thegeekmatrix.bsky.social. And everywhere else you listen to podcasts. So go do that. Watch us do that. Like, subscribe, download. Tell everyone how we're the best geeks in the world.
Yeah. Just to check with you, Josh. We are recording, yes?
We are.
Okay. Just as a technical question, the chat on the side here is not connecting for me. Is that an issue?
I don't know.
Okay,
we'll find out.
I just got the text notification that we are live, so that should be fine.
All right.
All right. Yeah. So I guess we've already gotten through the. Anybody got a dad joke? It's Rob here, joining me as always, our wonderful co-host Brandon on piano.
Hello, everybody.
And Josh with a dad joke.
You guys want to know a joke?
I would love to hear a joke.
Me too. So share it if you got one. That was a dad joke that even went over with my kids.
Did I tell you the Boy George joke?
No, you did not tell me the Boy George joke.
Okay. All right. This one's fucking great. Why did Boy George get kicked out of the lizard enclosure?
I don't know. You tell me. Why did Boy George get kicked out of the lizard enclosure?
Because he come down the chameleon.
Oh, no. Oh, Boy George, you're definitely freaky.
Yeah.
It's growing up, it wasn't the earrings or the makeup or anything. You know how I knew he was a freak? That fucking hat.
No, for me, it was the hair over one eye, because my only other frame of reference for that style was Captain Planet. And
Flock of Seagulls.
Yeah, but it wasn't as long. Flock of Seagulls had it shorter, if I remember right, and Boy George was it was long, but so was that redheaded asshole in Captain Planet. And she wanted to pollute the world. So fuck her.
So don't wear my hair like this then?
You look like Mads Mikkelsen right now.
Don't say that shit.
Do you not like Mads Mikkelsen?
I don't like hearing that I look like him.
I mean, when your hair's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or Dolph Lundgren in Expendables.
Ouch, you're just lining me up with all kinds of ugly people.
He's an 80s legend. All right.
That don't make him pretty, though. All right.
I'm sure once upon a time somebody wanted to fuck Dolph Lundgren.
I'm sure when he was in Rocky, lots of people did. But, I mean, that wasn't cool. He was the enemy.
Was he the Russian?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Igor Dragonovich or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Dragonovich? I don't know. Something like that.
No. Now I'm only thinking of Dragonov from
Ivan Drago.
Drago, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You can thank Kirk for that one. He just hopped into the chat. How's it going, Kirk?
Hey, it's Kirk. Hey, happy sailor. Wait, what was the name Kirk had a couple weeks ago?
Purple Thunder.
Purple Thunder. That's
the new
yes.
The new Mountain Dew flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be pointing to this shirt a lot today.
I like it.
And we are working just fine.
That is good to know. You're coming up aces right now.
Sick. What does that mean?
Coming up aces means you're kind of winning, yeah?
Yeah, but like what's going on, Kirk? Where are you winning?
He's winning at life.
Oh, hell yeah. Attaboy, Purple Thunder.
Awesome. But yeah, as far as dad jokes go, no, I don't have any to start the show out with other than that corny one I told. And I'm completely void of comic news.
I've got some. Actually, I do have one more joke. It's a knock-knock joke, but you have to start it.
All right. I'm doing some data work and listening to a cool pod. I call that a win. Well, thank you very much, Happy Sailor.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and spam the hell out of us on all social media. All right. So I got to start the knock-knock joke. Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Orange?
Orange.
Banana?
Oh God, I'm not doing this. Banana.
All right. I fucked that one up already.
Yeah.
All right.
One more. Sorry.
One more. Let's go.
You got to do it again. Knock knock.
Oh shit.
You got to start again.
All right. Knock knock.
Come in.
You fucking. Oh Jesus. Excellent.
Yeah. All right. Laughter is sufficient. I think we're good to continue.
We are a total of 8 books this week, but only 4 that we're fully reviewing.
Yeah.
4 on the honorable mentions, 1 on the bonus show.
I do have a bit of comic news before we get into our books.
We got the time.
Let me just click the link here. I feel like this was announced before and I just forgot because it sounds like slightly familiar. But it, as far as I know, broke on CBR that Superman writer from the 90s and 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, Joe Casey, is doing an upcoming Zod book called Kneel Before Zod, which is a nod to, it's a Zod to the old Superman movie, which was the famous line from Zod.
And Zod should never make an appearance without saying that line. Just my personal opinion, but that's how you kneel before Zod.
Yeah. I agree.
Completely.
And if he's into crime, if Zod is trying to like commit crimes, what you must do is steal before Zod.
Yes. Or else he's not going to believe you.
Yeah. Or when you're going out to dinner, you're going to meal before Zod.
Indeed.
We're playing cards, you're going to deal before Zod.
Excellent.
Okay, I'm done.
Well, if you're into comic books, you're going to read before Zod.
Boo. Basically, this is a Zod in current continuity that Joe Casey has been asked by DC to write. And it's going to be taking Zod, not Joe Casey, taking Zod back to his bastard roots.
If you give Zod a banana, you must peel before Zod. Oh, Kirk with the win.
Thank you, Kirk. I had another one, but I can't think of it right now. Yeah, Joe Casey though had to do some research on Zod because he hadn't really looked into the character in ages. And when he looked into it after getting the assignment, he then found out that Zod had a wife and kid, which has been a thing for years,
a long time.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. But the first thing Joe Casey does, and mild spoiler if you are against it. But a major point of his story, and basically what sets the story ablaze, is Zod loses that family. And that is where the story takes place. And he establishes dominion on a newfound planet, envisioning it as the new Krypton, and then makes many enemies on a cosmic scale. So it starts with loss and continues into conquest, as Zod does. So it's kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes. I'm not against Joe Casey. I'm not against Zod.
No, but I'm against spoilers, so I'm glad I missed that perfectly. Put my headphones right back on.
It's not even really a spoiler. It's more so this is why the book is happening.
Huh.
Yeah. It's more so this is the setup for the story of the book.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry, I always say.
That's fair. That's very fair. That's all I've got in comic news because it's been pretty quiet. I gotta say it's been pretty freaking quiet. Daredevil restarted again, new #1 this week. I've not had a chance to check it out yet.
I do have one thing that I did just read earlier today. First thing I do in the morning is grab coffee and flip through all my Google feed. Alan Moore has changed once again what he's doing with his residuals. Now, previously, up until this point, what he's done is he has taken his residuals and split them among the different creative teams that helped him do the comic books that he's making all the money off of. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, V for Vendetta, Watchmen, of course. Right. But now, every cent, he's decided that he doesn't want to do that. He's gone 100% recluse. He is holed up. Him and his wife are basically saying that they're going to be hermits, and every single cent of his residuals will be, from this day forward, donated to Black Lives Matter. I thought that was pretty damn cool of him.
Yeah, it's like kind of out of left field.
It is. He hasn't, Alan Moore has had a very strong aversion from anybody touching his work. Yeah. And unfortunately, he lost out on that with DC. He's never been a fan of anything. He won't watch the movie, the TV show. He boycotted Doomsday Clock. He's just completely opposed to any of it. And now he's sitting in his home saying he wished he never wrote comic books.
Oh, boy.
Living the life of an actual author now, writing books. And he says that, if he could go back and change it, he would have started writing books in his 20s rather than contributing to comics. Jeez, yeah. It seems, everybody knows that Alan Moore is a little different.
Yeah.
Very outspoken, very weird. But he said he got tired of moving to going to Comic-Cons and having people look at him like he was some kind of holy figure rather than just having a regular conversation. And it's completely repulsed him from everything. And I always had a lot of respect for him, divvying up the money that he got with the artists, etc. But the fact that he's just completely abandoned the idea of any kind of profit off of his comic book works and giving that all to Black Lives Matter, I think that is pretty fucking, I think that's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's a heck of a move. It is, I'll say, a bit surprising because obviously Alan Moore, like you said, he's a recluse. He never really talks about stuff, but he never gave any hints to wanting to donate to charity, let alone being a supporter of Black Lives Matter. Not to say that I would think he isn't. It's just
no, he's just a quiet dude. You know, we wouldn't have known.
It's I don't want to say it's surprising. It's just interesting.
It is surprising. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different charities that are out there, a lot of different movements that are out there, but I definitely think Black Lives Matter is one that could use the fucking funding.
Yeah.
So that is awesome. And as weird as he is and as wrong as he has been in the past, I do feel like he is definitely taking steps in the right direction, even if that means that I'm never going to get a sequel for V for Vendetta. Which,
not that you need one, you really don't.
You watch your dirty mouth.
No, it's a fine story on its own. It doesn't. That's one of those ones that doesn't need a sequel.
Oh no, yeah, I won't argue that point. It is
Like,
perfect as a
Would you
stand.
want a From Hell 2?
No,
Jack the Ripper Electric Boogaloo?
No. that would piss me off. So I get where you're coming
also
from. Yeah.
Slightly disrespectful because like those were based on real events. But anyway, I think that one is fine. That stands on its own.
Yeah, I won't argue with that. That's just the fanboy in me wanting that. It was such a good
W for Vendetta.
Such a W for Vendetta. There we go. That's oh, perfect fucking title. W for Vendetta. Oh man, you know what? Somebody from DC is going to be listening to this damn thing and steal Kirk's idea and just screw Alan Moore over again. But hey, it's more funding for other people, so that works. All right. What do you think?
I say, like, why is this is going to get stupid deep right now. Why is WW and not double V?
I've asked that my whole life, just like I've asked, why is Wednesday not pronounced Wednesday?
I have pronounced it Wednesday on more than many occasions.
It's my oldest son, we had that talk here, oh hell, I don't know, a few months ago, probably way longer than that, but now that's how he pronounces it, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep. He's like, that's just wrong.
Yeah.
He has been doing that, and he stopped pronouncing the T in often. So
but
I will give my kid grammar applause.
But it is often.
No, it's not.
Who said? Don't say you.
I'm not saying me. The original thing, just like listen isn't listen. Often was often, not often. It's been like many other words in the American language, butchered.
See, listen, I can understand, but often, I've always heard it as often, not often.
It's been butchered for that long.
I don't know, man. I can never agree with you on this.
I know
too much.
No.
On a happier note, I got a shipment. I'm happy.
My God, that thing is so gorgeous.
It's so cool. I now have 4. Wait, Brandon, what was that?
Oh, chef's kiss.
I thought it was like bat wings. I don't know.
Close enough. It really is good for anybody that can't see it, or anybody that's just listening. What do you got there, Rob?
Yellow Lantern Batman. Oh, actually, Kirk has an actual answer about W. Was made before the letter V existed and was originally drawn to resemble. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks,
Indeed.
but at least it's an answer.
Oh, look, it was butchered.
So I got Sinestro Corps Batman from his appearance in Forever Evil, using the same construct that you get in the Green Lantern 2-back that features Dawnbreaker, except this one's in yellow. because McFarlane likes to reuse constructs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of constructs and things that are different, man, I can't wait to get into Green Lantern later. Woo.
I can't wait to get into number 4. How about that?
Spoilers.
All right. That's all I got. Brandon, you got anything?
Sorry, I gotta keep up my ruse. I'm listening, but I'm also acting. I don't have anything major other than I did get to read the new Daredevil #1. Pretty solid. I think some people may be a little turned off, but I don't know. I had a good time, and Saladin Ahmed usually delivers, and I felt like he did a pretty solid job there. And then I don't know if I have anything else aside from that.
Does it follow Chip's run pretty well?
Yes, like almost exactly. It's
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
straightforward transition.
Very, very similar to like Philip Kennedy Johnson taking on Hulk from
Yes,
Al
from
Ewing.
Al Ewing and
Okay.
slightly it's some Ryan Ali, but it is a very different tone, is what I'll say. It's very Daredevil, but it's like you read the writing and it's very clear that it's two different people. So it's not like completely seamless, but it does
Yeah.
continue the story.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you
That
like
got me
like
excited.
Saladin Ahmed, it's pretty good, and the art is really exceptional too.
Hey, Kirk, have you read it yet?
Can you see the
Yeah.
comment? I can't see it at all.
I have the chat open on my phone. I'm also
Yo.
watching the stream on my phone.
So I am 4 issues deep into Immortal Hulk. I got to issue 12 on Grayson. I'm really trying to work through it. The new Gargoyle series, fucking love it. If anybody out there enjoyed the Gargoyles cartoon show, you've got to read this. It's phenomenal. And also, so is the Ninja Turtle Stranger Things crossover. I've read both of those, and I'm digging it. And a while back, we were talking about Threshold. It was a book that I believe, Rob, you picked up. And I went back and did a reread, all 8 issues, and boom, man, just as good as it was the first time.
Right? The cast in that book is so freaking good.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
I wasn't incredibly happy about Captain K-Rot, but I dug it.
Sweet.
I see that sly smile, Brandon. Or maybe I was mistaken. I don't know.
Brandon has to pretend that he's not talking to us when somebody's in the room.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what you got to do what you got to do for the love of comics.
Yep. If somebody is in the room with him, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
This is slowly. I'm fighting the urge to turn this into a game of make Brandon laugh.
Done.
I can hear you guys fine.
I know.
Yeah.
I have to focus, but also because people keep walking by.
Well, Josh,
just sit there and play the Star Wars dun 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 dun. That way you don't have to.
I totally would. I don't know how.
Oh,
if you practice it, you don't have to mute yourself. Just like let it go. I love that song. So Josh, you've passed. Like I told you to push to issue 11. You've passed issue 11 on Grace, and you're on to 12 now, and you're still trucking, eh?
I'm trying. It is so fucking hard, man. I told myself, because you told me to go to issue 10, I told myself that I'm going to do everything I can to make it to 16.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm going to go past what you guys said to give it the fairest shake that I can. And so far, it's kind of like chewing on aluminum foil, but I'm doing what I can, man. I am definitely doing what I can.
And you started reading Immortal Hulk, like the Al Ewing stuff.
The Great Power stuff. The one shots.
Oh, sorry, the one shots. I was muted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one shots.
They're not numbered though. They're all number ones. But
yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, there's only like I forget how many I said. There's 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
I'm not counting Immortal She-Hulk because Al Ewing did that one. But they had those 4 limited one shots with different creative teams.
Oh shit. Okay. I know I had one left to read, so I must have only gotten through 3.
Yeah. Well, which ones did you read?
Let me pull that up right now. I know that I read. Okay, Great Power.
Yeah.
The Best Defense. And no, I read. There's 5. Great Power.
The Best Defense is not. I mean, it is Immortal Hulk, but that's a tie-in to the Defenders. The Best Defense.
Oh well, I was wondering what the fuck. All right,
yeah,
well,
that's a tie-in to that whole story arc. So you have to kind of read that whole thing to get the full story.
All right, it was confusing as hell. But all right, so I got the Best Defense that I read for no reason, Threshing Place, Time of Monsters, and Great Power. So I have Flatline left to get through.
Yeah, those are like really the only. I mean, I think those are the only 4 that they did. Yeah.
Threshing Place was maybe my favorite. I loved that one.
That was really good.
It was really good. I enjoyed it. The whole Spider-Man and Hulk moment that y'all posted in Discord, in our Discord there. I that was awesome, and I just couldn't not read it. I know that was a double negative there, but I had to read it.
I've seen. Is that the one where he remembers Peter's identity?
Yes.
Okay.
That Banner forgot, but Hulk remembers.
Yeah. Are you going to go on to Immortal Hulk and do the 50-issue run?
I have to. I don't have a choice. See,
how else are you going to get to Philip Kennedy Johnson's Incredible Hulk?
Tom, another one of our review contributors, has been banging me in the head to read Immortal Hulk, and I don't have any fucking choice now. After reading these, it's just a no-brainer. And if I'm not mistaken, I am supposed to weave in Fantastic Four into that.
Well, I thought you were already started that.
I did, but I think I only got 3 issues. Yeah, I'm only 3 or 4 issues into that. But if I'm not mistaken, there's like crossing over between the 2. Yeah,
not in that series.
Not in the Immortal Hulk series.
Not in the current Fantastic Four.
Oh, in the previous one.
Maybe in the previous one there was an issue where the Hulk and the Thing fought, but I don't remember where it was.
Brandon does,
like
I think.
In the 40s. It's in the 40s.
In Immortal Hulk, right?
From Gamma. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he like crashes to Earth from Gamma Flight and then ends up on the pier and fights the Thing.
Right.
I don't remember what. Actually, wait, that might not be the 40s. That might be the 30s. I
But
think
still,
it's it's like the last 15 issues of that run.
It's not part of Fantastic Four though.
No, it's not part of it's not connected at all because that book didn't have any. I mean, aside from the tie-ins to some events, that book didn't have any like crossovers within it.
Perfect. I can just pick up this,
and you can keep going with Ryan North's Fantastic Four,
which
it's its own thing so far.
Yeah, but it's great.
Yeah,
like stupid good.
And each issue is its own story. Like it's not a multi-part story. It's just one-shot stories in this ongoing tale. It's brilliantly done.
Can't argue that. Not even a tiny bit.
So you said you were 4 issues deep on FF?
Yeah, I'm double checking that right now.
Okay. I'm curious if you got to the part yet where they say what's happened to the Baxter building.
Shop test. No, so the third one is where I'm at.
That was
The Human Torch.
Johnny, yeah.
Yep.
With the mustache.
Which is so weird to see, man.
But it's oddly awesome. And that whole intro issue for him with the mustache is fantastic.
Can't argue that. It's pretty the writing in here and the mystery, the build up. All right, Kirk. Well, it's good to have you swing by, man, and we'll talk to you in Discord.
Yep.
I don't remember what the hell I was just saying. Anyway, the writing for this new Fantastic Four, man, it's character work.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite kind of story to read, man. I don't want to just read an adventure. I want to read some characters too. That's
issue
awesome.
10, and I know you have a bit to go, but issue 10 has got to be one of my favorite issues of Fantastic Four in a long fucking time.
Issue 10.
Issue 10. It's number 41, right? The Man Downstairs. Yeah, issue 10 was fucking fantastic.
I will keep that in mind, kind sir.
And it wasn't even told from the perspective of the Fantastic Four. It was told from the perspective of people interacting with the Fantastic Four. It was so fucking brilliant. And maybe the best cover I've seen from Alex Ross.
That's a pretty bold claim, dude.
You got to see it. It's the closest you might get to a Fantastic Four horror story.
I'm okay with that.
It's really good. So I need you to fly through those next 6 issues tonight.
Well, all right. Yeah, let's see what I can do. I can't. I got some Smackdown to watch tonight. That's tomorrow. God, I'm living 20 years ago.
You got time. I know. Thursday night SmackDown. It was Tuesday night SmackDown. It was Wednesday night. So it was Friday night. And it was back to Tuesday. They just couldn't make up its mind.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Also, last thing before we get to the comics, Angela and I have caught up to Heels as of last night. We are stoked for the finale tomorrow night. We
finale.
Will not be watching it
No.
Yeah.
No, we need at least 4 more episodes before the season gets over with. I know it's the finale, but I'm really bummed out about it.
I know. Brandon has disappeared.
Oh, Brandon.
I don't think he realized because he wasn't looking at his computer at the time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Do you have any theories on what's going to happen with Heels?
I think. Hold on. Okay, so let me specifically regarding what?
Like the show?
Just I mean, like
in general, like with the story, like for example, like I think Dystopia is going to end up with the Continuum contract because the CEO or whoever she is really smitten with what's his name?
That's very true.
That asshole. Oh, his computer died. Shit.
Uh-oh. Talk about some technical issues.
Yeah.
That's no good.
That's weird.
It is weird.
I guess it wasn't giving enough power.
That's what you get for buying Macs.
Yeah, so that's what I think. Like, Dystopia is going to end up with a Continuum contract, and DWL is going to get fucked. And that's going to be the cliffhanger for DWL going into season 3, potentially. And then sorry, I keep interrupting. I just
you're fine. You're fine. I think personally, what's going to happen is that hold on, I'm trying to. All right. So personally, what I think is going to happen is that Dystopia is going to get that contract, and it's going to I think Dystopia is going to get that contract, and I think that the boss lady is not going to be a fan, but I think that Vigilante is going to be. I can't remember what the hell his name is. I see him and all I think is Adrian Chase.
Josh Segarra is the actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, Vigilante is going to like them.
Yeah.
And gonna want to bring them in. And I think that next season, what we're going to be looking at is his fight to include DWL, Big Boss Lady. I can't remember what her name is either, but I think what's going to happen there is something bad is going to happen with Dystopia, where there is going to be some kind of a media nightmare. And I think that she's going to end up having to backpedal and try to get DW going on there. But if I'm being personally honest, I really think something very, very bad and dramatic is lining up for the DWL.
As much as I know you're right, I really hope not, because friggin' Jack fought so hard to get his life back in order.
he did, and I'm really worried that the show is going to end next season with Jack committing suicide.
I really hope not.
You got that feeling too, though, don't you?
They are foreshadowing that one of them, and they're really foreshadowing that is a potential for Jack, but I really hope they don't do that.
Me too. But there's only one way to find out. That's stay tuned.
Exactly. The only other theory, right? The only other theory I have is they both get the contract on the grounds that they share it, and they join. They join. Yeah, they got introduced to Continuum doing this cross promotion angle. So that's all that Josh Segarra's character knows, is he went to go watch Dystopia and got introduced to DWL and saw how well they worked together, and he got excited. And instead of choosing between the two, because they both have bits that are great, like Dystopia's got the high caliber, the money, the excitement, but DWL has the better wrestlers.
Right. And I think that is definitely going to play into it for sure. The reason why I say that is, like you said, they Vigilante went to DWL and they actually had that sit down.
Yeah.
And he seems like iffy, but he knows that they've got the better wrestlers. Now, the one thing that has me wondering whether or not we will have Dystopia going first is she loves the party, right? Big Boss Lady. She loves the party.
Yeah.
She's having a fucking blast. Was she drinking watermelon margaritas or some shit, if I'm not mistaken, or watermelon martinis? But in any case, she's only asking for two things there. And that's Crystal and the Condemned.
Yeah.
And she's asking God damn it, what's his name?
Gully. She's
asking Gully where they are and saying, you need to get them here. They're not coming.
No.
So when she sees that the two biggest stars of what made her interested in it isn't a part of Dystopia, then I think that we're probably going to be looking at a forced equal partnership, or they're going to buy both leagues and then merge them together.
Yeah. Which would be interesting.
Yeah. It could be interesting.
It's like there's there's a big part of me that wants to look into, and you and I have talked about this because I brought it up, and you were definitely seeing it too. Look into the history of the Monday Night Wars leading into the Attitude Era, and like, where does that go from here? Because the last 2 seasons have told that story of WWE versus WCW.
For the most part, there's quite a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
And where does it go from here? Well, having been the guy that sat there and I was alive and I was watching wrestling during that whole time. Everybody can talk about how much looser WCW was. Well, I mean, if anybody has ever sat down and listened to excuse me for a second, sat down and listened to an interview with Diamond Dallas Page, who is 100% a no bullshit kind of guy.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that over half of what you watched on WCW during that time was shoot.
I believe it. Oh, especially with Eric Bischoff at church.
Yep. Like, it was just shit that just happened.
Yeah.
Yep. Wrestlers did shit on the fly. Storylines got changed because of actions. Diamond Dallas Page getting pissed off at everybody. Man, I mean, he went through the whole fucking roster, tried to mess everybody up to the point where his damn abdomen was taped all the way up to his nipples, and then he still went for another fucking year.
Yeah. Bischoff did not know what he was doing.
No, he didn't. He really did not. And he still, if people might deny this, but if we're being completely honest, Eric Bischoff harbors a lot of resentment. He is still pissed off. He is still pissed off and still holds a grudge about the WWF invasion or whatever, however we want to call that. When Triple H and DX rolled up with a fucking tank.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like, I can understand being pissed off about that, but at the same time, he brought it on himself. He wasn't doing anything of caliber. Like, he asked for that war.
He really did.
Yeah.
He didn't think that through either.
No. So fuck him. Like, Bret Hart. I was watching an interview with Bret Hart. A couple of times I've watched this interview, and he's told his story about his time at WCW and Eric Bischoff, and the kind of promoter that Eric Bischoff was. And like, Stone Cold has said the same thing with Eric Bischoff, that he keeps going to him and saying, "Oh, how about an angle with this guy? I want to work with this guy. They keep getting turned down and down and down. No, they're doing this and they're doing that and they're doing this, and we want you to do this." And then he said, I've got an idea. And he was just fucking with him at this point. He said, I'll go down to the ring with my cat. Bring my cat in a cat carrier. I'll have my cat there, and my cat will be there at every match. And I'll take the cat out before every match and pet it, and it'll be at the corner, in my corner, waiting for me. And I'll have the match, and then if I win, I'll bring it out and I'll pet it, and it'll be great. And then we'll do an angle, or someone will beat me up. I'll lose the match, and then I'll take my cat out of the carrier, swing it around, and beat my opponent with my cat. But at that point, it wasn't. That wouldn't be his cat. It would be like a stuffed cat. Right. But he would actually have his cat prior, and you, like, Bischoff was like, "I love it. Let's do it."
That's fucking insane.
Eric Bischoff is a fucking hack.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of hacks, we got a couple that we're going to talk about today.
Oh. Is this an issue of Justice Society of America? Because you just threw some fucking shade.
Yeah. Ooh, deep cut. Like it. First off, let me mention before we roll into the regular issues here. First off, we got Superman Lost number 6. Batman Gargoyle of Gotham #1, Danger Street #9, and Waller versus Wildstorm #3. Tune into the bonus show that you can get access to for $2.99 a month, joining our Discord, getting to talk to us geeks, all other kinds of geeks, and access to all of our podcasts and videos. So there's that. $2.99. It's like less than a Starbucks coffee, and this is actually good.
In today's economy, it's less than most coffee.
Oh, in today's economy, you can't turn on the news without hearing that. Yeah. But that's it, and I think right now would be a good time to cut for a commercial, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
Because everybody's talking about. Yeah. All right. And with that, we should probably move on to the regular reviews. That is, if Brandon is ready to give a summary.
Are you there, Brandon?
I really could have swore Brandon was there.
He is here. Hyrule Elf, are you there?
I'm going to type hello into our Discord.
I was going to say, how do you pronounce that or spell that?
How do you spell hello? Have you never turned on the closed captioning for a Medea movie?
Oh. We cannot.
We can't hear you, Brandon.
Okay, so computer is still dead.
Oh.
Shit.
Well,
he was on his phone, so maybe it just was too much.
It's very possible, but I got an idea. We can let Brandon. I'm going to type this in here too. Brandon, charge your stuff. Oh, yes. There he is. Excellent.
Hear me?
We can totally hear you.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how well this is going to work because I have to record from my phone because my computer's not turning on. And I just, it's still plugged in, but I think this charger is too weak to work efficiently. But I'll do my best.
I think it's working just fine. We can hear you.
Yeah.
And you got a placeholder on the screen. See, guys, see that black square right there, the rectangle? That one's Brandon. Ta-da! That's him.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah.
All right, so do we want to kick things off with our first comic book?
Let's do it. Batman Inc. Yes, Batman Inc. Brought to us by Brandon. Brandon, if you may, or if you please. I have a feeling he's gone.
Oh, no. There's technical issues, and then there's just somebody working against you. The universe. Oh, yeah, he's missing.
Yeah, it's I think maybe his phone might not be able to handle.
You still hear me?
I can hear you for now.
Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So let's see if we can get through this without any more technical difficulties.
All right. If you cut out, we'll switch it around, and we'll jump on to Teen Titans first.
Okay, cool. Yes, this is Batman Inc. number 12, the final issue in the series, written, of course, by Mr. Ed Brisson, with art from John Timms, colors from Rex Locus, and letters from, let's see if I can find that. Where is this credits page?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Is it even here?
No.
I don't even see it. I think it's I don't even remember who did the letters for the last time, but I can't. Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, I don't have my anyway. Well, letters by someone, I guess. So, whoever you are, I think it was Clayton Cowles. I don't know. I'll check later. But anyway,
It's a Batman book, so that
yeah,
tracks.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. But yes, this issue starts off with
No,
a follow up on the explosion. Can you still hear me?
we
Yes.
can. There's just, you're right. There's no credit page. Odd.
Yeah,
I hate it when they do
I don't
that.
know. Yeah, unless I'm skipping over it, I couldn't even find it. But anyway, um, yes, we cut to the explosion site, or the crater that's remaining of the explosion site over in Melbourne, Australia, where Dark Ranger and Wingman had been fighting off Corvus Call, and we discover that Wingman is miraculously still alive, just horribly burned. And so the sort of police commissioner of the Melbourne police just orders them to get an ambulance stat to make sure that he's still alive and can be cared after. Jiro is trying to excuse me. Jiro is trying to convince Raven Red not to kill. Um, oh my god, I almost called him Buckaroo Banzai. Dusty Bronco. Um, Dusty Bronco. Yeah, Dusty Bronco. After having him in a chokehold, and thankfully Raven Red is able to show him a little bit mercy before his anger gets the best of him. But before Dusty can get his revenge, Clown Hunter knocks him out with his trusty bat. We cut over to Paris, France, where Night Runner is trying to take care of the bomb of Charles de Gaulle, having captured him the last issue, where Grey Wolf and Knight are still trying to figure out how they can track the bomb that Dai Laffin left. And over in the Kangbashi district in Shanghai, I think it was Shanghai, Batman of China, Ghostmaker, and El Gaucho are still trying to stop Alpaca's goons from dropping all the people from the hospital. So everyone's kind of got their tasks. But in a supreme moment of, I can't believe they didn't think of this earlier, or frankly, something that seems so obvious, it's shocking that they didn't think of this earlier. Knight and Grey Wolf, upon continuing to work on Dai Laffin's device, realize that there is a way that they can kind of cancel out all of Joker's devices that have kind of been placed within the various members of Joker Incorporated, and that is to use an EMP, which, again, seems so obvious that I can't believe they didn't think of it earlier. But Jiro is able to test that out on Dusty Bronco and basically discovers that an EMP works, and it's able to disable the devices before anything it can go further. This news gets over to Joker, who just basically presses the immediately detonate button for the rest of them, which, while some of them were able to stop the members of Joker Incorporated and the devices they have inside them, unfortunately, Night Runner was not able to, leaving Charles de Gaulle to explode within the harbor of Paris, or wherever that is. Ghostmaker goes to save Sky Spider and is able to do so, but is really just kind of fed up with everything that's happened, especially with this mission so far. And they cut back to their mysterious location, where he basically reveals that, this experiment that Batman kind of brought him into has been a failure, and he's quitting the team effective immediately and dissolving Batman Inc. The rest of them can keep the base if they want. Yeah. The rest of them can keep the bases if they want, but otherwise, he'll have nothing to do with it. And of course, being the people that they are, they decide to kind of keep it running, with the exception of a few Clown Hunters going back to Gotham to kind of figure out who he is, and Raven Red. Oh, shit. And Raven Red is going to go back to the reservation to take care of his father for a little bit. And we actually see seeds of them doing exactly that, where Clown Hunter kind of reunites with the girl he met in Bloodhaven in a previous issue, and just tells her that he's here to stay for a little bit, and that the people who he thought needed him don't need him anymore. And in South Dakota, Raven Red has a nice little reunion with his father, Man of Bats. But over in Wales, Dai Laffin is having himself a jolly old time, seemingly holding a bunch of people hostage before he is so rudely interrupted by Batman Incorporated. As we can see, still active and still willing to participate. So I'm gonna kind of rush through this because again, I don't know how much time I have before this thing craps out again. Um, but I don't know. I was kind of disappointed with this issue. I'm not gonna lie. Like it felt like a very rushed conclusion with a. It wasn't a MacGuffin necessarily, but the solution to the problem was just so obvious. It's like if you guys are really members of Batman Incorporated and have trained in the various different arts of, being a detective, of training and all that stuff, the fact that it took you that long to come up with the idea of, oh, hey, let's use an EMP seems just, I don't know, it seems so ridiculous to me. But also, I mean, yes, but like, also, again, these are members of Batman Incorporated. Like the fact that that wasn't the first thing they thought of. Like, oh, well, if they're embedded within them, naturally we can use some kind of EMP to disable them. Especially when they were told they either had to kill them or let them get killed or something like that in order to stop the devices from going off.
Yeah.
So it seemed like such an obvious way to get out of this situation and something that frankly kind of felt like a very last minute, like, oh, it's the last issue, so we just need a workaround to make sure that they can solve the mystery and save the day to the best of their ability. So I don't know. I was kind of disappointed. I think especially because this whole series was kind of hinged on Ghostmaker, maybe not so much reforming, but kind of seeing some positives in using Batman's non-lethal methods. But here he's just like, nah, fuck it, like whatever. I tried it and it didn't work, which, yeah, maybe that's realistic, but I don't know. It just seemed like such a waste. Like, what was the point of this book? We watched him try and he didn't. It just feels like kind of a non-arc. Or an arc return. I guess, but I don't know. I feel so lazy. Like if you're really gonna commit to him trying to reform, why just end it like?
I think, I think he cut out there. And he's out. Yeah. Let me continue his thought there because him and I were on the same train of thought. I can say, oh, he's back. Hi.
Yeah, no. Again, this is gonna probably keep happening. So I'm just getting my score 7 out of 10. Kind of a disappointing ending, and might make me rethink the series as a whole a little bit.
That's better than me. I've not been a big fan of this book the entire time. And this ending was not any different for me. I was cautiously interested, but I needed something more to come out of it, and this final issue did not give me anything I was looking for, did not give me anything I needed. And I agree with Brandon, it was very rushed. The workaround, the solution was kind of tame. There was very little to no character growth for anybody throughout the 12 issues. The only person that really got an arc was Clown Hunter, and it ended with him just like, okay, I'm just gonna go. Ghostmaker had absolutely nothing. I think most of the books did, Josh. And yeah, Ghostmaker just had realistically no character arc. They kept giving illusions and hints that he's going to have a character arc, and then he just didn't. With this first story arc, with his old partner, like maybe his ways are not the right ways, and then this arc, is killing really the way to go. There must be another way, and then no, he's just like no change whatsoever. It was really kind of, like Brandon said, pointless, really lame.
Yeah. It just felt like so so pointless. Like it just felt like it
Yeah,
had no purpose in the end,
and
which is disappointing.
he left really quickly. Like they got back to base. He's like, all right, fuck it, I'm done. Peace out. All right, like nothing. He's like, I'm leaving. You can have the base. You get my way again, I will fucking kill you.
See ya.
Why? Did any of this mean anything to you? Fuck no. Um, and the Joker just up and disappeared really fucking quickly. Uh, Despite the fact that he's got a lot of shit on his plate right now, it just seemed really kind of annoying. I enjoyed the art. That's why I got a 6 out of 10.
Well, it's just a preview. They're just previewed, so like it's not really like I
Yeah,
don't know that we
I
necessarily
I
need to
would I
talk
would
about
even
that.
say wait till next week when the issue comes
Yeah,
out.
next because the actual issue comes out next week, so we can just talk about it there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have more context for it.
yeah. It wasn't in all of the books. That's that's so weird. Yeah, yeah. My biggest thing that I was thinking about when I finished Batman Inc. number 12 was you had two story arcs, and you had this grand return to Batman Inc. and the first story arc was about Ghostmaker, and Batman Inc. was almost an afterthought throughout that entire story. And the but then you have the second arc incorporates most of Batman Incorporated, but is also like an archetype villain. You'd think Joker Inc. would have a lot more build up than just okay, they're just going to appear. Like I feel like it had the makings of a story that could have been huge and could have been really fucking good if it had given if it had been given time to grow.
Because it's like 8 to 12, then they really didn't have that much time to tell their story. So
Yeah,
if they knew the book was ending at 12 and they're like, okay, this is it, this is your last arc, make it count, then there's only so much they could do, I guess. And
yeah.
it's unfortunate that this was the result.
It is a damn shame because I had high hopes for this book. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, the first, I mean, like I would say I enjoyed pretty much most of it up until this last issue. This last issue just kind of really ruined the book for me. And again, is going to make me kind of go through it again and question maybe what I enjoyed about it, because it felt like such a weak and disappointing ending.
Yeah. despite the fact that I agree with you, like my urge is there. I just have to say you're a weak and disappointing ending because it's right there, and I don't mean that in a bad
Come
way.
on, man.
It's just it was there.
Tragic.
I had to. No, you're wow.
Whoa.
Brandon,
Rob is a married man, sir.
you are a strong and promising beginning.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
It's what I always wanted to be.
Speaking of strong and promising beginnings, Green Lantern number 3. Yeah. Speaking of weak and disappointing endings.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not really how I feel, but I'll get into that. So this is Green Lantern number 3, written by Jeremy Adams, art from Zermanico, colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr., and letters from Dave Sharp. This is the triumphant return and the only book this week that was forced to go on a 2-month pause. Yeah, it's fucking annoying. Anyway, we pick up to a month ago and try to keep up with the timeline because it gets confusing. 2 months ago, there was a tale about a month ago when Hal had a ring and then it cut out on him. If you remember that part, because we remember at the end of the last issue, he was flying the jet, and now he's not flying the jet. So try to remember most of issue 2 from 3 fucking months ago. So he's in the sky and the ring cuts out and he's falling down to the sky, and right before he hits the ground he wills the ring with as much willpower as he can muster to power up, and it does. And he lands safely on the ground in costume and begins to ponder the capabilities of this new ring that he has crafted. He remembers an old, and more so Jeremy Adams remembers an old ability of the ring to make constructs in all sorts of visible colors in the spectrum.
That was straight out of the Silver Age. I was
Yeah,
shocked.
like
I was like, oh my
it's like
god, someone
right from the
remembers that?
beginning, right
Yeah,
from the
that's like
freaking beginning, it was.
first 5-6 issues or whatever.
Yeah. Which I don't think it was ever, if I remember, it wasn't ever really said that was the case.
No, it was
that
just
was the art style.
the
That's
basic
how they drew it.
basic description was always just that the ring operates on sort of imagination. So it wasn't like, oh, it's a green construct. It was sort of whatever you can visualize in your mind will be made
Yeah.
reality or something, like almost like a wishing ring, but not quite.
Yeah. And for most lanterns, if they visualize a green construct, they visualize a green construct. but the explanation that is given here from Hal is that his first ring, which was Abin Sur's ring, could make those constructs in all sorts of visible color. And he makes a gazelle because he landed somewhere in an outback where there is a bunch of gazelle around. He makes a construct of a gazelle first in purple light and then in a green line, the green aura'd gazelle with which looks just like the other ones, full colored fur and everything, and it blends in with other gazelle until a cheetah shows up, and then he makes the gazelle bigger and scares the cheetah away. So he has some fun with that classic ability that he is able to bring back. And then we jump back to the present. Carol Ferris. No, not Carol. No, I jumped ahead. I jumped too far ahead. Sorry. Sinestro is now fresh off his own nightmare tale and has a new lease on terror. He breaks into an office and discovers that it's the CEO, or the CEOs are actually Lalaran aliens in disguise. Exactly. And he wants them to work with him. He needs people and he needs help now. He does mention the Legion of Doom will compensate them, but they know the Legion of Doom is pretty much all but defunct right now. So, yeah. It was definitely a class photo. Like, when was the last time we even saw Captain Cold?
Flash. He was part of Mayor Wolf's task force or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, honestly, I took it as this image of the Legion of Doom is just the last image Sinestro had. Like I said, the Legion of Doom isn't even really around anymore, and everybody in the villain community knows that. So he's really just using his pull as an ex-member to say, yeah, we could do this, even though everybody knows they don't exist anymore. Yeah. Right. So we then go to the plan he needed, which is almost a full 12 hours later. They get the people needed, which is another series of aliens, including a cat-like beast, which looks like somebody out of the Omega Men. Do you remember him, Brandon?
I thought it was Tigor, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
It's probably the
I can
same
remember his
species.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the same species. Because I thought for sure, is this the Omega Men? But then
Yeah.
you saw the rest of the team, and it isn't.
Yeah.
Also, somebody that looks a lot like King Shark, but for some reason I don't think it is, but it might be because was also a Lantern villain at one point. So they don't really name any of these characters, but he has a series of aliens with him, and they break into basically Ferris aircraft, a Ferris airbase. Doesn't steal anything. He just appears on camera, blows a hole in the wall, and smiles at the camera while staring at the jets. The next day, Hal is at a baseball game being an awesome superhero. While Kilowog is suspiciously in the crowd cheering on one of the batters. And this baseball game is a Little League game. I should have mentioned there's a Little League game. And he's helping the kids out and having a good time. And Kilowog celebrates with one of the batters who scores a run. And then Hal heads back to his job at Ferris Air. Carol wants to speak to him immediately, and Hal is a bit suspicious about what's going on. But Carol is even more suspicious because she asks him right off the bat, what is going on now? And like Hal's kind of confused until Carol shows him the video footage of Sinestro. It reveals that he did not steal anything, and he begins to wonder what the fuck's going on. The last time he saw Sinestro was on Korugar during the mysterious event where something terribly bad happened. And while he's sitting in a bar pondering this, Sinestro appears and goes straight to Jordan and reveals himself. And next issue, Sinestro's Revenge. Yeah. I'm not fond that he said Lantern Jordan, but I'll go with it right now. Should I jump into the backup first? Yeah. All right. It's a quick one anyway. This is Rise of the Revenant Queen Part 3, the last backup leading into Philip Kennedy Johnson's Green Lantern War Journal, out next week, currently in Brandon's hands. So this is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Oh, it looks so good. Teasing me.
You might even say that Rob is green with envy. I've already made that joke. It had to be said.
To be fair, before we started the show, you were on cam, and I saw you pull a book out of the sleeve, and I was like, "Ooh, what is it?" You gave me that look, like I don't want to show you because I know what's gonna happen.
I didn't want you to be like in anguish for the next 4 days or so before you can get a chance to read it.
I've been in anguish for the past 4 months waiting for this book to come out.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so this is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art from Montos. I keep needing to not say Mentos. It's Montos. Colors from Adriano Lucas and letters from Dave Sharp. Picking up where we left off last month, the Worlds Without a Justice League John Stewart has joined his fellow Lantern Shepherd as Shepherd watches on John Stewart take on the what is this army's name? Woo. Oh, it's the Revenant Queen. Yeah. Oh man, but basically that dark army, the Radiant Dead. the Radiant Dead. Yeah, the pair are taking on the Radiant Dead, and Jon Stewart is making easy work of them all, while Shepard looks on in awe and ponders just how awesome Jon Stewart really is. Jon goes for the Revenant Queen, the leader of the Radiant Dead, who we see is also wearing a ring, a power ring of sorts. But the Revenant Queen disappears into the multiverse where Jon cannot access her or cannot get to her, and he doesn't know where she went. He then turns to Shepard and says, "You must find the Revenant Queen. Go into the multiverse and look for the universe she went to. Look for that universe's Jon Stewart. He will help you hunt her down for sure, or she will hunt him down for sure." Which we then jump to Earth Zero, where that Jon Stewart is having a lantern talk. if you he's having a call through Construct with Guy Gardner from across the universe.
It's the lantern version of a Force Ghost.
Pretty much. I guess that's the best way to put it. Jon is there because his mom's not doing so well, and he's there to help her out around the house. And Guy's just there to have a beer with him and offer a shoulder to cry on if he needs it. And also just be good buddies. As they stare into the sky, Jon just says he needs to keep his eyes on what's right in front of him and stay on Earth for a while and do what he needs to do. And finishes off with there's nothing out there they can't handle without him. But then we see the Revenant Queen's ring floating in space, and that is to be continued next week in Green Lantern War Journal number 1. First off, the backup, awesomely exciting. I cannot wait to get my hands on War Journal number 1, read more about Philip Kennedy Jones and Jon Stewart, and find out more about this new mysterious power ring from the Worlds Without a Justice League universe. The art's fantastic, story's interesting. I'm sold. As for the main story, like what did I call it? Not the pacing. The momentum just ultimately died for me
because of the break with
because
Night
that
Terrors.
2-month break. Yeah, like the Night Terrors tie-ins for Green Lantern was good, but then having that forced break in between issues 2 and 3, like the seamless flow between issue 2 and issue 1 of the Night Terrors Green Lantern was great, but then issue 2 of Night Terror's Green Lantern was supposed to flow into Night's End, and he didn't appear in that issue at all. And then we jump into issue 3, and it picks up halfway through issue 2. It's really weird, and it just kind of like killed some of the momentum for me. So as much as I'm still enjoying it, I really didn't enjoy this issue as I thought I would or hoped I would. I was really excited for it to come out, and then I get it, and it's like, well, this really didn't offer many answers, if any at all. And it was kind of just like moving the plot slightly along. It was kind of like almost felt like a stepping stone issue. It really didn't offer much to me. Except amazing art. I'll give it that. Like the art throughout this entire issue between the main and the backup, freaking amazing. Single named artists are some of the best in the world. I think we can all admit that. 8.5 out of 10. I'm excited to see Hal and Sinestro have words with each other, but that's next issue. So that's why I'm super excited for issue 4.
See, for me, this sold it. The last 2 issues were kind of catching us up to where it needs to be. This issue is finally putting us on the track. Obviously, Hal is an earthbound lantern with whatever's going on with this ring. He can't go out into outer space, at least not successfully. And we've got power ringless Sinestro pulling off some stuff, building a crew, breaking into a hangar and stealing nothing, and then just showing up and saying, "Yeah, so I hear you've been looking for me." What in the hell does Sinestro have up his sleeve? Like, I gotta know. I don't know. It probably helped me a little bit, but because of the 2-month break, I went back and read issue 2 and then this. This book makes me itch with excitement. It's not bombastic, it's just written damn well. And if we just forget the nightmare stuff, then this has been a pretty smooth story so far. A bit of a long intro for a start, for sure, but I have a feeling that this is going to be going on for a little while. So I'm perfectly okay with that. The colors, man, line work too, it looks so good. Past looking good. It matches a Lantern book phenomenally. This really is a beauty for me, story and art. And that goes for the backup too. I'm so far not overly invested, but it is good to see God Stewart in the story, and it makes sense. The Revenant Queen was once a Lantern, and am I mistaken? That's a Star Sapphire ring, right?
Not necessarily. Like, it has something close to the symbol, but it's not exactly the same symbol.
Okay, that's why I had 3 question marks in my notes next to that, because it looked like it, so I had to ask. Obviously, though, John Stewart and this Revenant Queen do know each other. John knows who she is, and she'll be hunting down regular John pretty damn soon.
Let's get another look at Revenant Queen here. I have a sneaking suspicion, and I could be very wrong, that this is that universe's version of Katma.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's Arisha.
You think it's Arisia? Oh,
yeah.
God. That'd be fucked. But Arisia was always closer to Hal. That's the thing.
I just threw out a female Lantern that I thought got screwed over.
Well, she has been screwed over many times.
Yep.
Rob, what if it's Marion?
Oh.
Just, I mean, not even like I have a theory for why that would be.
That actually fits better.
Lantern at one point, but just to see an old flame of John's come back.
Hold up. Let me
wait.
Because from my memory, she was just a Dark Star. She was never a Lantern.
Yeah, no, I think she was just a Dark Star.
Yeah,
but this.
Star. Shit! I thought that symbol looked familiar. The symbol on the ring, it upside down, is pretty much a Dark Star symbol. Hot.
Although it could be because it looks like they're teasing something with the Star Sapphire, so it could also be that. I don't know.
So you see that symbol?
I do.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
It could also be.
And there it is again.
Yeah. Well, is that not because that kind of looks like the Star Sapphire symbol, but I could be wrong.
Well, the Star Sapphire symbol is more star shaped.
Okay.
It's definitely more star shaped, and in some cases had a heart inside of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like this. So it is a little off. It's a lot closer to a Dark Star symbol than it is Star Sapphire.
That'll be funny, just to see if someone even remembers she exists.
That would be awesome.
Engaged. They were engaged. And
think about that.
Then Green Lantern Rebirth happened, and she vanished from existence.
I mean,
I think she left John.
Disappeared before. Yeah, she just kind of up and left out of nowhere, and was never heard from again.
For those that have no idea what we're talking about, I just shared a picture of the Star Sapphire there on the stream for you guys. It is comparing that to the Dark Star symbol.
Yeah.
And I'm going to share that here in just 1 second. And nope, it doesn't give me it right off the bat. So that's not the case. I can't do that quick and easy. But in any case, it definitely does not look like the Star Sapphire symbol, mostly, with the exception of the fact that it's the same color.
Yeah. But Brandon, I think you're onto something there.
So do I.
It's most definitely Moran.
That's insane. Who would have thought of that? But awesome.
I can tell you who would have thought of that. Brandon thought of that.
Well, I mean, he
Just
wasn't
because
the
like
only one.
I'm the only one that cares / remembers about this stuff, or remembers this stuff, not remembers about this.
I definitely care about Moran. I just don't remember Moran.
You weren't a big fan of all the Dark Star stuff anyway, were you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Not necessarily that I wasn't a fan. It's just not something I ever read into.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, the original series is, I mean, for me at least, and I can't speak for the entire series, but at least some of the select, random issues that I read, it wasn't anything terribly impressive, to be honest.
Yeah.
But they got Michael Jan Friedman to do it from Star Trek fame, so Star Trek writing fame, I guess. So there's that if you're mildly interested.
I mean, it's definitely something I want to look into because I want the entirety of Jon Stewart's story.
Yeah.
For sure.
Say, how's that Mosaic collection coming along?
I have issue 17, and that's it.
Oh no!
That's probably all I will get because nobody's going to be carrying Gerard Jones stuff.
I think I probably have. Well, I might have one more issue than you, but coincidentally, I happen to find those in the 50-cent bin. So it's not like they're in high demand. It's more like, can we get rid of them?
I mean, the shop I went to where I ended up with issue 17, I asked, like, do you have any Green Lanterns that anything is specific? I'm like, I don't know, Mosaic, and be like, I don't know, you know about the writer, right? I'm like, yeah. I want to read story though. I know what happened. It's a taboo topic.
Yeah.
And I need to know all of Jon Stewart's stories so I can understand how DC thinks he's 29 years old. So that's still bugging me.
Hey, homie. I'm looking at
no sense.
I'm looking at mycomicshop.com, and all issues 1 through 18 are available.
How much?
Looks like between $2.50. Is that the lowest one? Most of it.
Like, it's not so much that you don't necessarily or you can't find them. I mean, I'm sure some stores have difficulty finding them, but it's more like you don't want that in your collection because of what it means.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely fair enough. They are priced at most of them are $250 in the very fine category there. There's one that's $4 something, there's another one that's $6 something, and then the last two are $8 a piece. Also very fine. Last one, $8, very fine, 8.0. So I mean, if you're that into it, if you're looking that hard for it and you want it there, then there she be.
Right. I mean, I still have to get through Guy Gardner's story first, and then maybe I'll focus on Mosaic.
It is a rather fractured attempt at reading a comic book series. It's a pretty rough one.
Guy Gardner story?
No, Mosaic.
Oh, Mosaic, yeah. Yeah. From what I remember, when it's talked about in the Green Lantern subreddits, it's remembered fondly for the story and for being a good Jon Stewart story, albeit very convoluted and complicated, and not well remembered fondly because of the writer. But people seem to like it as a Jon Stewart story.
That's completely... I mean, okay, so we don't have to go on to it too long, but I feel like there's two different ways to approach this, all right? And the way that I tried to explain it to Holly was, all right, so let's say that you believe everything that was said about Michael Jackson, all right?
Okay.
And then there's no way you can deny everything about R. Kelly, right?
That's impossible.
But when you think bump and grind, you're taken back to some kind of memory of when you got trashed or some chick or dude was something along those lines. There's no significant memories attached to that song. And when you hear it your whole life, you didn't automatically go R. Kelly. But any Michael Jackson song, you cannot separate from Michael Jackson.
No.
You see what I'm, do you understand what I'm saying? There are certain circumstances where the art is not truly the product of the creator. It's more of just being a part of pop culture, like bump and grind.
Yeah.
Where if it was, let's say, and and I think that that's the case with Gerard Jones. Yeah, he wrote 18 fucking issues of a Green Lantern book. I'm sure he got more than 18 issues while he was locked up. As far as that goes, I think on the other side of that spectrum, if it was Grant Morrison or Jeff Johns accused of such things or convicted of such things, I would have a really tough time separating that from Jeff Johns. You know what I mean? It's just like the bigger the person, the more famous the person, the harder it is to separate, because they're such a integral part of what it is you're consuming.
That's fair. Yeah. Like,
So-
as much as I love reading Green Lantern Rebirth over and over again, I have a really hard time appreciating the art now.
Yeah, and I don't there are those little bubbles that pop up, like, should I be okay with this? But if we went through and did that with every form of media that we've ever consumed, I mean, we would have to give up every sporting event for one. Yeah. I mean, just it would be a vast domino thing. And if you're going to an online shop or you're going to a dollar bin at your LCS, Gerard Jones is not getting a fucking penny of that money.
That's true.
So if that's a story you want to read it. It's not going to help him. It's not going to contribute to him. And the sum of bitch sure isn't coming back to the comic community. So that's where I stand on it. I'm not reading Green Lantern Mosaic and thinking, oh my God, Gerard Jones. I'm thinking, God, I hate the way they draw John's face.
Yeah. Actually, one thing I really want to get into more is James Owsley Green Lantern, but I gotta look those up.
And you've got quite the list that you need to get through.
Exactly. But that's enough about 90s Green Lantern.
Oh, did I give my score
8.75
out of 10?
8.5 for me. Brandon, have you said anything about issue 3 yet, or we just?
I don't even think so. Yeah, I'm scared because I discovered that this charger has been working, but also it hasn't. And
Oh,
so that's why it died and is going to die again. And I have to return it at 8. So unfortunately, that's not the best of situations. But that doesn't matter for Green Lantern number 3 because I gave this issue an 8.5. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I know that you kind of said that the Night Terrors issues broke up the pacing, and it did, but it was nice to just kind of come back to like the main story.
Right. I had
we've had the Sinestro, thread hanging in the backgrounds of issue 1 and issue 2, and now it was like, okay, we're going to start it off.
Yep.
Also, I don't know, something about seeing Hal and Sinestro again. Like it feels like it's been a while, and yet it's kind of cool to see once more, even if the Lantern Jordan line was a little odd. Aside from that, yeah, no, I dug it a lot. You can tell Jeremy Adams is just a huge nerd. It was nice to talk to him when we did, because I think I got a perspective of how much he really loves comics, and then seeing him just dig out this, deep cut right from like the first 6 issues of the Silver Age was like, I don't want to make it sound like, oh, it's just impressive because you lifted an old kind of part of Lantern mythology, but it's clear that you're well read in this, so
Yeah.
I can respect that at least.
Oh yeah.
The backup, great. Montos, I don't know where you came from, but I hope you're here to stay. So yeah,
Oh, done
8.5 out
well.
of 10.
Yeah. Question for you guys though, because
Okay.
I know I've talked about the theory before, but how do you guys feel about the Kilowog scenes in this issue?
I thought it was funny. He's giving his friend a little crap. Unless I'm forgetting something.
Josh.
Ain't he supposed to be dead?
That's the theory, that he's dead.
It's like he's supposed to be dead. We get that part where Hal Jordan is, especially what he did to ...
Yeah.
And you see a picture of Kilowog in the Yellow Lantern suit being blown away from Sinestro on Kilgar, along with a couple of other people. So I'm like, Kilowog's supposed to be dead here. But
also maybe no. Like, what if we
Right.
just said no to that?
Well, I feel like Jeremy Adams might have, but I also trust Jeremy Adams to weave it into a, but for lack of a better word right now, believable story. Like it'll end up making sense. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like, how I could see it playing out is if Kilowog is revealed to have died on Korugar, that this is just Hal's kind of not really coping mechanism, but just him seeing his best friend after death.
Brandon, are you still with us?
Had to run outside for a little bit, but yes.
Okay.
What did you say?
I want to say that I think that it's possible that this Earthbound ring may have something tied to Kilowog.
Maybe, could be.
We'll have to wait and see.
I'm curious what that theory is. So I'll be honest with you, I didn't even think about this side of the ring until you said Earthbound ring that is keeping him on Earth. I did not even make that fucking connection.
Yep, something is definitely there, and it can't be because of the Manhunter mantle. Manhunters can go into space.
Yeah.
There's something else that is tying him to Earth.
Fear.
And Sinestro's sitting there. I don't think it's fear. Sinestro's sitting there with no ring. So Earthbound Hell with a ring he doesn't understand, and Sinestro with a regular army, but no true ring that he's working with, no ring at all that he's working with. This is going to line up to be, if not an awesome story, at the very least, very interesting.
Let me check something. Okay. So I'm just going to look something up before I forget about it, but we can go on to our next book.
Great.
If y'all are ready.
Yeah,
ready.
I need to.
Yeah. All right. So World's Finest Teen Titans number 3. Josh is the lucky man.
All right, written by Mark Waid, art Emanuela Lupicino, colors Jordi Belair, letters Steve Wands, cover came from Chris Amney and Mateus Lopez. All of the Teen Titans are excited about going to TitansCon. Robin wishes he was there, but Bruce won't let him go. Elsewhere, some dude named Sherman is all angry and talking mad smack to his mom. The team quickly figures out that going was a bad idea. Wally embarrasses Roy. Bee and Wally are nearly unmasked. Angry Sherman is obsessed with Bee and tries to take out the team after Bee shuts dude down. He's all, but we love each other, stalker bullshit. He's using magic to attack the team until Robin shows up and saves the day. Charlie, who apparently used to go by Golden Eagle, which I don't know, did he come back from the fucking Isle of Lost Children? He was like a mini Hawkman. I don't remember him at all.
This is like 70s Titans. I don't even know if you've read this stuff, but it's Charlie was for like a hot second. I don't know if he was ever officially Hawkman's sidekick, or because there's like a JLA story that kicks it off. I'm wasting time. It's not really important, but he was like official sidekick of Hawkman, I think, for a little bit. And then they
Gotcha.
brought him back during the Jimmy Palmiotti Hawkman run.
All right. So Charlie, who was once Golden Eagle, points out to Robin that he still hasn't gone home, which makes Dick sad. It's a sad Dick. Magic Stalker Dude, during his transport, is freed and forcefully recruited by a dark figure that says, "Welcome to the Terror Titans." The art is good, but it's certainly not Lupitino's best. The rest sucked. Terror Titans? Really? How far are we trying to reach here and trying to make this an interesting book? This feels like the comic book version of slapstick comedy, but nobody is laughing. The best effort here, the best part was the lettering. The cover was downright horrible. How does a person make this stuff and not feel embarrassed? 4.75 out of 10.
Aren't you happy you had this book?
Would have had the same opinion on it anyway. But there wasn't really a whole lot that happened in the book, so the summary and the reading did go by pretty quickly.
Fair enough. Yeah, there wasn't much to really bring up anyway.
I'm familiar with the Terror
Terror
Titans.
Titans, yeah.
I just don't know why in the hell it would be brought into this. It seems like a very, very, very long, like Mr. Fantastic long stretch to be bringing them into this. But I mean, the whole thing has been silly to begin with. So that's where I'm at it with it. But I have a feeling Brandon feels completely opposite of me.
Yeah, not completely. I don't know that I disliked it as much as you. Again, I'm still not really sure where on the timeline this is, whether it's the like brief window of time where the Titans kind of separated before the start of the new Teen Titans, or if this is in its own continuity, which it could potentially be. I don't know.
I mean, it has to be, right? Because they're like drawn, like way back Teen Titans, but then there's all these fucking smartphones and shit. I mean, I almost feel
Well, I
like
mean, they're gonna have to do that
DTOS.
anyway because it's a sliding timeline. Like they're not.
Yeah.
Like they obviously can't be from the 70s and then Nightwing is in his 20s. So in any case, yeah, I'm talking like Titans history across any version of the timeline. But that's not really important. I don't know. It's fun. It's perfectly fun. It's nothing great, and like I still enjoy it. I've kind of just shuttered the part of my brain that's like, where is this? When? What? How? And then just kind of enjoying the somewhat playful interactions between the Titans, which are nice. So like it's nothing special, but it's just kind of fun. So I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Like it's solid. I have a good time reading it, but it's obviously nothing incredible.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Ultimately, I thought it was a fun read. I'm really enjoying Mark Waid just having fun with his books right now, at least with the World's Finest stuff. Anyway, the World's Finest Teen Titans, with World's Finest Batman, Superman. He's doing it with Shazam. Like he's doing some silly stuff. He's having fun with it. He's seeing what creativity he can come up with, and I'm down for it because I don't think it's bringing the books down personally. I think he's just looking to have fun while telling a story, and I'm all for it. I gave this an 8.5 out of 10.
Well, there you go. Moving on quickly because Brandon does have to get out of here at 8 o'clock. I'm going to share my top 3 of this week, and that is number 1, Green Lantern, number 2, Batman Inc. I'm not giving Teen Titans a ranking. However, my favorite, even though I said I'm not sold on it yet, my favorite part was my favorite moment was listening to whatever that dude's name was talk about everything that makes up God's Stewart, and that more than anything else that's happened building up to this story, that painted me a picture of who this person is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that was done phenomenally well.
Shepard is a very interesting character so far.
I keep forgetting his name.
As my top three, number 3 I had Green Lantern, number 2 I had World's Finest Teen Titans, and number 1 Mystery.
You'll have to tune in later.
Yeah.
Brandon, did you have any?
Yes. 3 World's Finest, 2 Green Lantern, number 1 is on the Mona Show.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Fair enough.
If my computer does not die before then,
Ish.
you may even get to hear me talk about it.
Quick favorite moment for me: Kid Flash switching around Speedy's arrows, so he kept firing the wrong one during the battles. Thought that was hilarious.
Definitely
prank
Hal at
was-
the baseball game. That was very cute. That was my favorite moment.
Yeah, where he threw a soft pitch to the kid that got picked on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is the show, everybody. So we are going to get out of here. So you have to as well. Don't forget to go to www.thegeekmatrixpod.com. Show us some love. Be careful out there. And remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.